My name is Elena Vargas, and until that scary night, my life in the quiet neighborhoods of Seattle felt like a perfect dream. I was 38 years old, with a loving husband named Carlos, a cozy two-story house surrounded by a white picket fence, and a fun job as a graphic designer that let me work from home. Carlos and I had been married for 12 long years. We didn't have kids yet, but we dreamed about it often, chatting over glasses of wine late at night. He had a job as a money advisor in the busy part of the city, and he'd come home every evening with stories about how he helped people plan their futures and save cash. Our daily life was easy and comfortable, waking up to fresh coffee in the morning, taking evening walks with our fluffy dog Max around the block, and spending weekends curled up on the couch binge-watching our favorite TV shows. I never thought that peaceful routine was just a thin cover, hiding dark secrets that could tear everything apart in an instant. Hi viewer, before we continue, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, thank you. The trouble started just after 2 a.m. on a cold, stormy Thursday in October. Rain was pouring down hard like it was trying to wash away the world outside. My phone buzzed loudly on the nightstand next to the bed, its screen glowing bright blue in the pitch-black room. That light fell on Carlos's face as he slept soundly beside me, his snores soft and steady. I rubbed my eyes and checked the caller ID. Unknown number. Calls like that at weird hours are usually junk, someone trying to sell you something or a wrong number. I almost ignored it, but a strange feeling in my gut made me pick it up. Maybe it was the way the wind howled against the windows, shaking the house, or how Max, our loyal golden retriever, whimpered quietly from his dog bed in the corner of the room, like he sensed something bad coming. I slid out of bed as quietly as I could, my feet touching the cold floor, and tiptoed to the bathroom down the hall. I shut the door softly and pressed the answer button. Elena. It's me, Sophia. The voice on the other end was a shaky whisper, rough around the edges like she'd been running or crying. But I knew that voice anywhere. It was my sister Sophia, the one I hadn't spoken to in more than 5 years. We used to be close as kids, but after our parents died in a terrible car accident, everything fell apart. She blamed me for not being there that day, saying I was too busy with my own life. I blamed her for vanishing afterward, moving to New York to become a private detective, chasing shadows and secrets for a living. We'd screamed at each other during the funeral, and that was the last time we talked. Hearing her now felt like a ghost from the past. Listen to me carefully. Don't say anything loud. Just nod or make a small sound if you can hear me, okay? My heart started pounding fast like a drum in my chest. Sophia. What's going on? Shoo. Quiet. No names right now. Carlos wakes up, hang up quick. Elena, you have to hide. Do it right this second. Go up to the attic. Grab your phone but put it on silent mode. Don't flip on any lights, that could give you away. And whatever happens, don't wake your husband. Do you get what I'm saying? The whole room seemed to spin around me. Thunder crashed outside, loud enough to rattle the windows and cover up my quick gasp. Why? Sophia, tell me what's wrong. There's no time for questions. You have to trust me, your life is on the line here. Someone is already in your house. It's not Carlos, but it's connected to him somehow. Move fast. I'll call you back in exactly 5 minutes. Go now. The phone went dead, leaving me in silence except for the storm raging outside. My hands were shaking so bad I almost dropped the phone. Sophia. Calling me after all these years. And telling me to hide in the attic like some scared kid. Our attic was a forgotten mess upstairs. A dusty space crammed with old cardboard boxes full of junk, strings of Christmas lights tangled up, and pieces of furniture we never used anymore. You could only get up there by pulling down a rickety ladder from a hatch in the hallway ceiling. Carlos always avoided it. He said the tight space made him feel trapped and uneasy, like the walls were closing in. But Sophia's voice in my ear. It wasn't messing around. It had that serious tone, the kind that cuts through all your doubts and makes you believe. I peeked back through the bathroom door at our bedroom. Carlos was still out cold, his body rising and falling with each breath under the blankets. Max lifted his head from his bed, his big brown eyes looking at me with worry, his ears standing straight up. I put a finger to my lips to shush him, hoping he wouldn't bark. I grabbed my soft robe from the hook on the door and slipped it on, then crept out into the dark hallway. My bare feet felt icy on the hard wooden floor, and every step I took seemed too loud in my head. The storm was going wild now, with wind screaming through the trees outside like it was alive and angry. I reached up for the string on the attic hatch and pulled it down super slow, trying not to make the usual creaky noise. The ladder unfolded bit by bit, and it let out a tiny groan. I froze right there, holding my breath, listening hard. Did Carlos hear that? Was he stirring? Nothing, just the endless rain hammering on the roof. Climbing that ladder felt like the longest moment of my life. Each rung I stepped on made my mind spin with wild questions. What on earth did Sophia mean by someone in your house? Was it a burglar sneaking around downstairs? Some stranger with a mask and a crowbar? And why couldn't I wake Carlos? He was my rock, strong, always ready to protect me. We even kept a baseball bat under the bed for emergencies like this. But her words kept echoing in my head. Connected to him. Connected how? What secret was Carlos hiding that could put us in danger? Finally, I made it into the attic. It was completely black up there. No windows to let in even a bit of moonlight. The air was thick and stuffy, smelling like old books and dust that tickled my nose. I felt my way carefully through the darkness, bumping into boxes until I found a corner hidden behind a tall stack of them. I crouched down low, pulling my knees up to my chest, trying to make myself as small as possible. My heart was racing so fast I could feel it in my throat. Then, right on time, my phone vibrated in my pocket. Sophia calling back. I answered it with a whisper, my voice barely above the sound of the rain. I'm up here. Now tell me what's going on. Good job, Elena. Stay hidden no matter what. Is there a way to lock the attic hatch from inside? Look for a small bolt or latch. I reached out in the dark, my fingers scraping along the wooden hatch until I found a rusty metal bolt. I slid it into place with a quiet click. Okay, it's locked. Now talk. Elena, I've been working on this big investigation case back in New York. It started with some shady money deals, but it led straight back to you. Carlos. He's not the good guy you believe he is. Those words hit me like a punch to the stomach. My blood turned cold, and I felt a chill run down my spine. What are you talking about? That can't be right. He's deep in trouble. Stealing money from his job. He's been quietly taking cash from the people he advises. Millions of dollars over the years. But it's not just that. The folks he's working with are real criminals, like a gang that doesn't play nice. They think you might have figured it out or that you're a risk to their plans. Tonight one of them is coming to your house to make sure you can't talk. To get rid of you for good. I slapped my hand over my mouth to stop a sob from escaping. Tears stung my eyes. Carlos. My sweet Carlos, who brought me flowers on random days and cooked breakfast in bed on weekends. The man who held me when I was sad and promised forever. Felt impossible. But then little memories started flooding back. Things I'd ignored before. His extra late nights at the office, saying it was busy season. The weird big deposits in our bank account that he brushed off as bonuses. Him installing those new security cameras all over the house last month. Ones he set up himself without telling me why. I need proof. I hissed into the phone, my voice breaking. You can't just say this without showing me something. Check your email right now. I just sent you some files. Copies of bank statements, secret emails from Carlos to a hidden account. But don't spend too long looking. And listen close. That's when I heard it. A noise from downstairs, clear even over the storm. Soft footsteps on the creaky old stairs. Or was it the front door easing open with a faint click? My heart thumped louder than ever. Then Max let out one sharp bark from the bedroom, full of warning before going totally silent. Way too silent, like something had scared him quiet. Sophia, I think I hear something down there, I whispered, panic rising in my chest. Stay put, don't move an inch. I'm on my way to you. I called the police already, they're coming too. But Elena, if anyone tries to come up that ladder, you have to fight. Look around. There's an old golf club in one of those boxes from Dad's golfing days. Grab it and use it if you need to. The call cut off again. I squeezed myself tighter into the corner, hugging my knees, trying to breathe slow and quiet. The minutes dragged on forever, each one feeling like an hour. The rain kept pounding the roof like angry fists, but now I was sure I heard whispers below. A floorboard in the living room groaned, the one that always creaks when we walk on it. Then actual voices, muffled but real. One of them was Carlos's, deep and angry, not his usual calm tone. Where is she? You promised you'd handle this without any noise or mess. The other voice was new to me, rough and mean like gravel under boots. She must have heard us coming in. Let's check upstairs, quick. Footsteps started climbing the main stairs, slow and careful. I stopped breathing altogether. A light switched on in the hallway below. I could see the thin strips of yellow glowing through the tiny cracks around the attic hatch. Someone rattled the handle on our bedroom door. Elena. Honey, are you okay? Carlos called out, his voice trying to sound worried and loving. But now, after Sophia's warning, it rang false in my ears, like an actor reading lines. The stranger, the intruder, grumbled back. The boss said to finish this tonight. No loose ends. No one left who could spill the beans. They moved room to room, checking the guest bedroom with its empty bed. The bathroom where I'd just been hiding. Doors opened and closed. Drawers were pulled out. Then they were right below me in the hallway. I heard the attic cord being yanked. The ladder tried to drop, but the lock held it shut. It's locked. From the inside. Carlos snarled, his voice full of rage I'd never heard before. Damn it, she's up there. She knows. Terror flooded through me like ice water. My fingers closed around the golf club I'd found nearby. Its metal handle cold and heavy in my grip. It gave me a tiny bit of courage. Bang. They started hitting the hatch hard, making the whole attic shake. Elena, open this up right now. It's just me, come on. I bit my lip to keep from screaming back. Hot tears streaming down my face in the dark. My phone buzzed silently. An email notification from Sophia. I dared to glance at the screen, the light dimmed low. There were attachments. Scanned bank papers showing huge sums of money moving from his clients' accounts to secret ones overseas. Emails from Carlos's work computer to some anonymous address, talking about covering tracks and dealing with problems at home. One message from just yesterday hit me hardest. The wife is starting to ask questions about the extra cash. We need to make it look like a home invasion gone wrong. Tonight. The betrayal burned deep inside me, twisting like a knife. How long had this been going on? Years. Our whole marriage built on lies and stolen money. The happy life I thought we had, it was all fake. Thunder boomed outside again, so loud it shook the house, but this time I heard something else mixed in. Faint sirens wailing in the distance. Police. Had Sophia really gotten them here so fast? Down below, a sudden crash. Glass shattering like a window breaking. Shouts erupted. Freeze. Police. Hands where we can see them. Everything turned to chaos. Loud commands from the cops. Feet stomping everywhere. Carlos yelling back. Officers, this is all a big misunderstanding. She's my wife. Was that a gunshot? No, just warning shots into the air, I hoped. The attic hatch rattled one last time, then burst open with a splintering crack. The intruder's face poked through. A scary guy with tattoos snaking up his neck, eyes cold and hard. He hauled himself up the ladder, a black gun gleaming in his hand. Time's up, lady. I didn't think, I just acted. I swung the golf club with every bit of strength I had. It smashed into his arm with a horrible cracking sound like breaking bone. He screamed in pain, the gun flying out of his grip and clattering into the shadows of the attic. He lunged at me anyway, grabbing for my robe, but I twisted away and kicked hard at his fingers on the ladder rungs. His hold slipped, and he tumbled backward with a heavy thud onto the hallway floor below. Elena, it's safe now, come down. Sophia's voice called up from the confusion, strong and real. My legs felt like jelly as I climbed down the ladder, shaking all over. The hallway was packed with police officers in uniforms, flashlights beaming everywhere. Carlos was on his knees, hands cuffed behind his back. His face twisted in pure hate as he glared at me. The intruder, his partner in crime, lay groaning on the floor nearby, cops slapping cuffs on him too while calling for an ambulance. Sophia burst through the front door downstairs and ran up, her clothes soaked from the rain, her hair plastered to her face. She wrapped me in a tight hug, holding me as I sobbed. I only found out about this last week, she explained between breaths. I was following a lead from one of Carlos's ripped-off clients. It all connected back to him and this crime ring. He was going to stage your death tonight, make it look like a random break-in, then cash in on your life insurance and disappear with the stolen money. Carlos spat on the floor as the cops yanked him to his feet. You ruined it all, Elena. We could have been set for life, rich beyond dreams. The officers dragged him out to the waiting patrol car, its lights flashing red and blue against the rainy night. Sophia filled in the rest of the story as we sat in the kitchen later, wrapped in blankets with hot tea from the paramedics. Carlos had been embezzling, stealing, for years, funneling money to a dangerous organized crime group. They'd even used our basement as a secret spot to stash dirty cash in a hidden safe I never knew existed, right under my nose. Killing me was their way to tie up loose ends, especially since I'd started noticing the odd bank stuff and asking questions. In the weeks that followed, I filed for divorce, sold that cursed house with all its bad memories, and moved to a small apartment in the city. Sophia and I rebuilt our bond, talking every day like sisters should. We even started an online podcast together, sharing stories of real crimes, betrayals, and how people survive them. It turned my nightmare into something positive, helping others spot the signs before it's too late. Life is so fragile. One unexpected midnight call can rip away the mask and reveal the monsters hiding in your own home. If these kinds of edge-of-your-seat tales keep you hooked, smash that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and join our growing community for fresh stories every week. You never know, the next one might feel a little too close to your own life.